shut, we had to get off the expressway. They shut the whole expressway
Oh
down.
my gosh.
Really?
Which
For what?
expressway was that?
290 heading west.
Oh, gosh.
So we called Joel and we were like, Joel, can you get the helicopter? The
Oh.
213
Yeah.
helicopter?
So you don't eat this probably, right? Can I get these out of your way?
I'm gonna have one. Do you?
Do you want these? Oh, okay, you do?
Yeah, if you left those, I wouldn't have to use those.
Okay, all right,
A
good.
bunch of acts.
Yeah, you can sit wherever you
I
want.
mean,
I was gonna say here.
and
Great.
it always is like at 2 and 4 in the morning, and they shut down the expressway, it's usually heading west.
You know the car at the table?
I guess how my friend turn is today.
I'm trying to figure out Cora's Iron. Oh, she's in a race somewhere.
NHRA.
In Indianapolis.
No, in Joliet. In Joliet. It's on TV. I was
You
watching a
know,
little
they
bit
had
of
a
it.
drag strip in Joliet.
That looks like a nice big drag.
Okay.
You wanna get some water? 340 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I got it.
Put on my tombstone.
Then they only go a really short distance.
Quarter mile.
You're all live.
We're all live?
Yeah, it started the table. Well, we're live streaming.
Yes.
Nervous wreck.
So I'm gonna put these up here for you guys.
You know, I'm trying to get
You
here.
don't, if you're, before, you don't wanna be late.
Mm-hmm. What does Phil say? Once you slick, let us know. So.
I bet you can tell what kind of guitar it is. It was like.
No, I couldn't.
No, you
Where did she, I thought she would've. Oh.
Some of the people.
Oh, and,
No one's ever.
Sky. Oh, I told you what it was. It's a college. Cause I said, the thing is, he had.
So I'm gonna grab, is that where you're gonna sit?
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab this cord then and hope it
Oh,
works.
he came and sat right
But you can plug in right here.
And I looked across and I saw the NGS. And I knew that was college, the end of
No,
college.
not yet. Let me talk to you.
You're too smart.
But they start over 6,000. It's about 11,000.
It's just
Testing 1, 2.
fits
Check, check.
the livelihood, I guess.
Check, 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 check.
So the CD is sort of just like when the pen starts
Oh, that's good.
even talking.
You have a memory.
Oh, okay.
But that audience.
Sounds like this one's on.
We were up, I
The radio
many
views.
people were behind.
This one is on. Check, 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 check. No?
He was good at
Number 1. Check, check, check.
getting,
Do I hear number 1? Check, check, check.
you know,
You got it?
smiling and laughing.
Testing
Putting
1,
on
2.
I liked
performances
his
other than
first,
just
I liked his first voice. First song the best. And the
Put
same thing
up
on
on
the
that?
3.
Right?
Yep,
you know,
check, check.
that sort of mellow voice.
Do you need another stand?
No.
Can I get another one? Sure. I have others.
I believe in you.
The
You know,
beautiful
that's
guitar.
like my resonator.
The beautiful dope.
Thank you. Yeah,
Is it a new one or an older one? Or?
it's definitely used.
Way
It's newish. Robin might know better
So
how old it is.
I don't bring it in other places
How can I wait so much?
because it's steel.
Why did you get
The
it?
brown one is wood.
Why did you get it?
And I took lessons in slide guitar at the old town school.
Was it by the tracks?
It's almost to the underpass.
The thing is, I did it for about $600.
Someone else mentioned.
And to get an equivalent of what the bottom would do is
When it opened up a couple times ago.
because I put stuff, I got the steel body I got was discontinued. So I got it for $400.
before you got here.
I took them to my room,
Wow.
and put them all in.
That would be a problem for anybody. Everybody would have looked.
You'll have to explain.
But I would have
the
decided
layer
why.
around.
I don't
So this microphone,
Please.
number 5.
don't take it out anywhere.
Number 5.
I called it my bar fight guitar, since it weighs 10 pounds and it's steel. If I ever got into a bar fight, I would have that guitar.
Number 5.
Slug
What's
them.
that?
Really?
Slug them with it.
Yeah.
I would
Check,
stop.
check, check. Check test 1, 2. Is
All right, what's
it
up
coming in
with
somewhere else?
What's a good?
What's up with
Oh,
Game's just down.
Oh, check, check, check.
it's the same as a bridge in a saddle on a regular guitar.
And what was the other thing?
The cone.
What's that?
You see the round, the holes are round. Well, underneath that, there's a cone, a very thin
Reinforcing them.
and then in the middle of that cone, it's like a loudspeaker. In the middle of that cone, stick a wooden biscuit in the middle, and then it's got a little bridge. And that's what's underneath the thing that goes sideways over there. And then the strings cross it. And then when you pull the string, when you hit the string, it vibrates the biscuit, which vibrates the cone, and the sound comes out of the holes.
Water up there. No, yeah, she had to do graduation
Oh,
for her daughter. So that's you. Is that okay? There's a water to your right up on the shelf. If you need it, get this.
And then I thought,
So what was up with 5?
I have not been to Dubai. And I thought, well,
I was
I
trying to
spent money for this, then we can go to the cheap place, which is across the street.
All right.
Guess what? It's time for.
So there it is here, and it took me.
Check, 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 check. Test
Oh,
1, 2, 3,
yeah.
4, 5, 6. Hello. Check, check, check. You get it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tobias is close on something.
Hello.
No, not the restaurant.
Hello, Governor.
Dubai.
Oh, sorry, it's all twisted. Like my day.
Somebody's gonna pull up here. Wherever I sit, I'm in everybody's way.
Yeah.
Do you want to mute it real quick?
I don't want too many chairs.
just for a second.
Yeah, just for a second.
You're gonna have 2 sets. You're gonna have 2 sets.
Yes. Yes.
And then I'll have a little break. And I would assume, they're probably usually 45-minute sets that they do. Oh, okay. Maybe
Real greetings.
or so, and then 10-15 minute.
That's record. That's record time.
All right, this is your last chance, guys. Check, check. I feel like this isn't up very much. Is the gain off on that one? Check, check, check. All right, so, last pre-flight details. Is there anything else you need? Jenny or Robin?
We need these people to know how much we appreciate them, their patience, their good humor, and how attractive they are. They didn't have to be that good looking today.
And very, very fragrant, especially these two.
So welcome to the Tunes and Tales. This is our second time of doing this, and we're kind of, as John Leving would say, flying the plane as we're building it, or building the plane as we're flying it, or something like that.
I have to redo this. Can
So our good, yeah, go ahead, and I'm just gonna babble for a little while. Good friends Jenny and Robin. Does everybody know Jenny and Robin already, or is this? It's amazing. So, well, one of the first times I remember meeting Jenny and Robin, they were, I think, hosting some kind of open mic or a song circle at Double Door or something like that in Chicago. I was recording with Jennifer, and I'm like, these seem like cool people. We should go meet them. And so after a recording gig, we went over there and met you. And I remember Robin, and I know this might sound like a funny story to you, but or I keep telling the same story. Like one of the first things he said to me was, "Do you want some of my homemade granola?" And it was like we were instant friends, you know. So it was just so cool. But they were hosting a singer-songwriter showcase, and it was just super delightful to meet them and get to know them, and they haven't been able to escape me since. So, but they've definitely both, I don't know, blossomed, glowed up as far as their creativity and what they're doing and their productivity. So it's been amazing to watch, and I hope I can try to keep up with just half of what you guys do. It's pretty amazing.
Hey, Joe,
What?
do you think with it, people should silence their cell phones just in
Oh,
case?
yeah, I'm supposed to say all of that, and I
I know,
didn't even
but-
do it myself, so,
That's why we got his wife on Friday nights.
right.
Ah,
If only. But we're really glad to be here today. Yes, silence your cell phones, please, if you haven't already. But yeah, we have Jenny and Robin. So, do either of you feel ready to go first, or?
We will always go first, but what about you, Joel?
You should go first. I'm Joel, and I help run this place. And
woohoo!
that's all you need to know, right?
I would like to say Joel does help run this place. If being president of the United States was simply, moving papers around on a desk, Joel single-handedly kept Two-Way Street, America's longest continuously running coffee house, from going dark.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. And, as guitar players go, he's a little bit of all right. Am I right? This is why I think
a
you
lot of
should
all
kick
right.
us off.
Oh.
He's a great mandolin player.
You really
We're
want me to
making
kick
him
it off?
blush right now. That's
I
all
know.
I'm saying.
I was kind of trying to brush it off on you guys to start.
Well,
Because that way I figured you would do more songs and I'd get out of doing as many. So, but
well, I'm
I
happy
was
to.
gonna pick names out of a hat, and I was gonna write only your names on it. But since I don't do that,
Jenny,
everybody say flowers?
play a song on your new guitar there.
Okay, I'd have to tune it up a little bit though, but I'd love to play a song for you. So, as you have correctly deduced, this is a National Resonator guitar. It was purchased secondhand online. I had gotten obsessed with them. I'd always been obsessed with them, and Robin has the real thing sitting around, the ones from 1929. But the action on them has gotten to be such that they're almost unplayable, unless you have a slide, which Robin does. So, and then I was just, browsing online like you do, and I saw one that turned out to be silver. But I thought for a long time that it was white, and so I mourned the loss of my white resonator guitar. And then I found they actually make these, and they call this white. But it's more like sunrise to me. So I'm learning how to play this guitar, but I'm from Chicago. It's all going to be fine. My new friend from Homer Glen?
I live in Frankfurt.
From Frankfurt. And I were haiku aficionados. Who else loves haiku? Raise your hand. Yes. Our dear friends, musical compatriots over there. Haiku is a 3-syllable poem, 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second, 5 in the third. This song was written to a haiku. If you care to count the syllables, please place your hand upon your heart, and let's do this together. Yeah. Once you know that you never could have known any earlier. It was a miracle. Everything that went wrong. Sorry. It was a miracle. Everything that went wrong, I see that now. I could not before. was a mess. But I thought it was the world. I see that now. I could not before. No, I could not before. You told the truth that I was living a lie. I see that now. I could not before. No, I could not before. You said, lay it all down, lay it all down, lay it all down, lay it all down, lay it all down. Lay it all down, lay it all down, lay it all down, lay it all down, lay it all down. Lay it all down. You said lay it all down. I see that now. I'm still not sure, but I could not before. You said lay it all down, lay it all down, lay it all down, lay it all down. Lay down the hurt, lay down the blame, lay down the guilt, lay down the shame, lay down what they asked of you. Lay down the standard you held yourself to, and all the backhanded praise, the late nights, the early days. Lay down how long you held on after you knew something was wrong, and all that you traded, believing it was fated. Lay down how you thought you knew. Lay down how nobody could tell you, because nobody knows anything until they're ready to. So lay it all down. Lay it all down. It was a miracle. Everything that went wrong.
So worth the wait. So what usually sparks a song for you?
So this is my favorite conversation to have, because it's always wonderful to talk about the source of the song rather than to tell you the story of the song. And so I started out with a haiku, but I didn't know what was going to happen with that. And something that's always worked for me is if I'm feeling particularly uncreative, I set a divine appointment time, and I don't miss it. So in this case, it was 5:30 in the morning. And Robin will attest, like, I scrambled out of bed at, like, and you don't have to do it for very long. I think I did it for 5 days. Scrambled out of bed, made it downstairs. Like, I had to be sitting there at 5:30. I had to be there at 5:30. And then it was maybe 45 minutes or an hour, and it felt like over the course of time, I would get a piece here. I got the riff. I got the lay it all down. I got the verse. And then it was time to finish the song. And I don't know about anybody here, but sometimes it's so fun to create something, you don't realize how much you don't want to be done creating it, you know. But I had a deadline. And so I hardly ever do this, but I wasn't getting it done. And I brought the guitar. Actually, I was sitting in the living room, and Robin said, "Do you want me to get you your guitar?" And he got my guitar for me. And I sat there and I noodled, which I never do. I never noodle in front of anyone. And then I said, if I include that part of, all the different things. Is that too much? Should I leave it out? And he said, nah, that's the whole point of the song. You leave that in. And the rest is history.
How about you, Robin? What usually sparks a song for you, or
Oh.
image or phrase?
Phrases, yeah, notebooks full of phrases, and on my phone, yeah. That's the source of most of my songs, is a word or a concept, I would say.
Just kinda
Yeah,
strikes your fancy.
Yeah,
Like
a turn of
record it on your
a
phone.
turn of phrase, or something ironic, or a
Juxtaposition
convoluted.
words that kind of sound funny or something.
Yes.
Like that,
Yes, and something that I usually know pretty quickly if it's something I can sink my teeth into, like a phrase. So, what about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's across the board, really. Sometimes it's a situation that I'm trying to capture, or sometimes it's a concept, or a vision in my head that just kind of pops in my mind, and try to write that feeling. So, would you grace us with a song? Robin?
Yeah, I was reminded of this song driving here. So we got caught up I feel like it's not coming out.
Oh. Is the music there?
Are you going in the right place?
We get this in?
Yeah.
Oh, let's bring it up.
There we go. Excellent. I was reminded of this song driving here because we got late anyway, just because not because we were running late. We left in plenty of time, but the entire Eisenhower was shut down, all 4 lanes at some point. We had to get off and get back on, and we actually got here. Technically, we were not late. We got in we were at 2:59, I think. And then we're driving here, and the train the train gate goes down, and it was not a commuter train. That was the freight train, and I was like, all right. And so happily I have a song about this situation. And one thing, the subject matter inspires me, but also just one thing I'm pretty obsessed with is writing songs that sound like the things that I'm writing about. So I kind of have a loose idea of a workshop called Trains, Weather, and Bugs. So different things that actually make sounds that I can incorporate into my songs. So and there's a long history. Ever since trains have existed, people have written songs about trains, the subject matter of trains, but then the sound of them. They have so many interesting sounds.
Isn't that called an onomatopoeia? The words that sound like buzz? Or like
Yeah, and a musical version maybe. Yeah, right, for sure. So there's a long history of what the train whistles, which is this chord, this particular chord. Right, and it's the history of it is these train whistles. They were originally not. They needed to be heard from long distances away. They were signals to other people, and so they needed to be heard from miles off. So that's the reason, because that they're dissonant. So if you play 2 notes or notes in a chord, it sounds like that. But if you want it to get heard miles away, you want some dissonance. You want notes that sound unusual together, or maybe not quite right.
Good for a French ambulance, too.
Yeah, exactly. An ambulance, exactly right. So this song has a lot of that. You'll hear the different sounds of the trains and stuff. And but specifically what it's about is getting stopped by a train and having your sweetheart next to you, and you make good use of that time, right? I was trying to think of any one subject left to write about in a train. So this has a little bit of a sing-along part. It goes 1, 2, 3, like this. Goes train. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go. Train. We're driving along and we stop because we find ourselves at a railroad crossing. Ding, ding, ding. Let's start over. We're driving along and we stop because we find ourselves at a railroad crossing. Ding, ding, ding. Hear the freight train whistle blow. This little bit of time is not an issue. It's the middle of the night and I'm here with you. Train again, turn off the engine, leave on the radio. 1, 2, 3, let's go now, train. Trained again, I don't mind. More time to spend with our C3 clients. Say, how far back do you suppose that seat can go? Like the clackety-clack of the railroad tracks. Say, look how far that seat goes back. Trained again, turn off the engine, leave on the radio. Now, if that train was a jetliner, I'd drive right under. And if was a mountain with a tunnel, well, I'd drive right through. Woo, woo, woo. But that train is hauling freight and moving slow, so I'll have to wait. Nowhere to go, nothing to do but sit here next to you. One, two, three, let's go now, train. Again now, train. Train again, I don't care. I just run my fingers through your hair. We'll watch the red lights flash on the dashboard glow. That's the sound of the dashboard glowing. Like the clackety-clack of the railroad tracks. Hey, look how far that seat goes back. Train again, turn off the engine, leave on the radio. Trained again, turn off the engine, leave on the radio. I got through it. All right, so there you go. You got a lot of various sounds. Various train sounds in there, the clickety-clack and such like that. So I love to be inspired by the sounds of the things that I'm actually writing about. I get excited by that.
That's amazing. Yeah. That sounded really good. Oh, I'm so intimidated now. You guys are such fantastic
Joel,
songwriters.
That says the guy who can play anything for anyone at any time.
My goal with this, knowing that Jen had her graduation and I couldn't rely on Ashley and Simpson songs, was to write or finish songs.
Oh, wow.
And I had 3 that I wanted to finish, so this was like my way of doing this. But they're only mostly finished, and I'm going to claim them not finished in case I enter them in any songwriting contests, so that, because they want them to be fresh, right?
Deniability.
Like, yeah. But so this one actually was written. I wrote it. I don't mean to get serious on it, because you guys did like really great and entertaining songs, and like mine is probably like, I don't know, can be boring now to everybody. But I was
Joel,
working here.
you do Joel.
I'm just awkwardly yours. So, but I wrote this song. I was here on Valentine's Day. You might have seen the show. It was Katie Doll when she was here, and it was 2005 or 25, and just the circumstances struck me so much that I decided to write a song about it. And so here it is. It's called Valentine's Day. Let's see if I can even remember it. Here is my story of Valentine's Day. In Chicago, winter storm rages. A lyrical prophet, she sings from the stage. A folk singer for the ages. The stories and songs of the hopeful and free, connecting us all, the you and the me, in acceptance of who we are, and that life is a two-way street. In the crowd is a vibrant young boy, bright-eyed and so full of life. I asked him about his family. We shared that our fathers had died. And as we talked, I saw myself in that little boy looking up at me, reminding me once again that life is a two-way street. Hear this tale I know of the give and the take. Life is a two-way street. May we never forget, with the busy we make, to be kind to the folks that we meet. In walks a man, cold, hungry, and tired, been living out on the street. We talked in the hall as we both recall the roads that led us to meet. And out comes the boy who sits down with us. We spoke plainly and free, remembering who we are, and that life is a two-way street. I'll end my story of Valentine's Day as the storm it kept raging on. I never saw the boy again, but his kindness lingers on. I made a call for the man and his family came. He said he'd been gone all winter long. The singer, she's a friend of mine, and life's still a two-way street. Hear this tale I know of the give and the take. The life is a two-way street. May we never forget, with the busy we make, to be kind to the strangers we meet.
With the busy we make.
Yeah.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was awesome.
I was trying to capture like that night, because Katie is just an amazing performer, and this little boy walked in, his name was Navi, and he was just like so full of life. He like talked to everybody in the room and was just like so alive. It was just like, I was so inspired by him. He actually, when he first came out and saw the homeless dude that I was talking with outside, the first thing he walks up and he goes, "Hey man, nice dreads." And like, it was just like so relaxed and calm, and like, I don't know, it like some, you know how some people when they meet somebody that is maybe, you know, unhoused or not well, and get that, I don't know, maybe a little worry about them, and he was just right there. He was just like, "Hey man, nice dreads," and he literally sat down right next to us and just joined the conversation, and I was struck that that boy was so just like open and innocent about it, and like, yeah, it was just, and then just to know that his family, I called him, I'm like, "Is there anything I can do for you?" You know, because he thought there was going to be a community kitchen down here that night, but there wasn't, so all I could offer was water bottles and chips, you know, or whatever. And he's like, "Would you call my family?" Because he had walked all the way from Lyle and hurt his ankle, and it was like literally snowstorm outside. And his dad gave me a hug and was like, "I haven't seen him all winter, so thank you for calling." And the sister was really excited to see him, and I never heard what the rest of that story was either, but it's just interesting how all those worlds collided in one moment. And I was like, okay, Valentine's Day, you know? So.
Wow. That's really incredible. And Joel, it kind of shows what can happen when you open your home to community, or you open your space to community. It's like we don't always get to know the good that we do, and you got, like you're saying, part of the story, but I'm sure there's more of a story there. Oh my goodness. Well, I've picked up a different guitar. This one's made of wood. I got this at, we were at a conference, and I might have been leading a workshop or something, and I thought there was a silent auction. Everybody knows what that is? You go to a fundraiser, there's a sheet there, there's a thing, and like, you're like, you know what, I'm supportive. I'm gonna write my name down, and everyone's gonna see what a good citizen I am and how generous I am. I'll never get this thing right. So sure enough, I'm the third person to write my name down on this guitar. And is there another name? No, no. So I called Robin and I said, the family's expanding. That's like the one thing he wouldn't mind if more guitars in the house. But I'm going to pick up on your theme of openness. A trait that I've always admired about you, Joel, is Joel's so sensitive to other people's needs and their emotions and like where they are. It's a miracle, actually, to have a friend like that in your life who's so in tune with you and so interested in what's happening. And I think I'm a little bit like that too, maybe not as much, but I wrote that song about that. You want me to turn my guitar on? I'll do it. It feels like a cloud is looming over me, and I can't tell if I'm the cloud or if I am me, falling, 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 falling down, falling, 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 falling down. If I am the cloud, I'm about to fall to pieces on the ground. If I am me, the water is rising, I'm starting to drown. Falling, 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 falling down. Falling, 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 falling down. I am who I can only be. I like to blur the lines between what's you and what's me. I can't tell where you end and I begin. Like this rain soaks my clothes clear to my skin, falling, 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 falling,
Are there any songwriting rules that you like to follow or love to break?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Follow or break? Well, I do think the structure's nice. I do like being able to talk about, in that particular song, falling, falling, falling down, that's chorus, right? But the verses, it feels like a cloud is looming over me. I can't tell, It feels like a cloud is looming over me, and I can't tell if I'm the cloud or if I'm me. That's the verse. Go right into the chorus, and then you have a bridge. That's very helpful to me because I like to think about it in terms of ideas. And for me, like you say the verse introduces the idea. You might get somewhere new in the second verse, or you might do the same thing you've already done in a prismatic way. And then you get to the bridge, and the bridge kind of says, if you're me, not everybody does this with a bridge, but I love bridges where they come out and say the point of why I wrote the song, I like to blur the lines between what's you and what's me. Oh.
How about you, Robin? Do you have like certain rules that you like to follow or break? Or like, I won't ever do that as a songwriter?
I think I'm honestly, like, some of my songs are pretty weird, but I'm pretty traditional in that respect. Like
song structure?
Yeah, verse. I think I probably learned listening to a lot of old songs, especially not old rock songs, but old, jazz songs and stuff, which are pretty much verse, a bridge, verse, that kind of thing. And I think it's just kind of stuck in my head. Even if the details are weird, I think I'm pretty traditional in a lot of ways,
Do you both, like, I struggle with this where I'll write a song, but then sometimes I have to write the song first and then apply it to my voice. So, like, I might write a song in a certain key, but then realize, like, this isn't right for me, my key. So I'll, like, change it after the fact.
I don't start until I find the right key. Yeah, if I get an idea.
Yeah. Maybe I should take that approach.
I 100% change it.
Because it's like, I'll be like, wait, this would be so much better if I just had a little bit more room on my voice or whatever.
Totally.
So I'll move it or I'll do something different. And it's like, it's surprising how many different processes I go through for like writing. Like a recent one that I've been doing is I have this sheet and I give this to my students and it's like basically they jot down like all their like points to the song first and then try to like write out verses and choruses. I'm like, I'm gonna do this for myself. And so when I was writing that one about Valentine's Day, I was just like writing about all the like things that kind of stuck in my mind and then wrote like the verses. And it's like, it's one of the first times that I've done it that organized. Sometimes they do come to you fast, right? Like, but then some are painfully like, these ones were sitting on the shelf not being finished.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving me an excuse to finish these, you guys.
Oh my gosh.
I do have a rule. I mean, I have a rule while I'm writing. I write like a lot of words usually, but I don't let myself get too far before picking up the instrument, because I find that when I actually start putting music to the words, it's all going to change.
Right.
So I try not to get too far ahead in the ideas, because it's just inevitable. I wipe. I'll write 10 pages of stuff, and then I'll latch onto some other idea when I start playing the guitar, and all the 10 pages are gone. It's just this other idea to kind of take some other trip with it. Yeah. Well, that song that Jenny played, "Falling," is a perfect example of what I was talking about. It's a song that sounds like the thing that it is. It sounds like weather, and it sounds like a cloud, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful tune. I was inspired by Joel's Valentine's Day song. I realized there weren't. There's a lot of good holiday songs for a lot of good holidays, but there aren't a lot of good Valentine's songs. So I decided to write one, and this is kind of. I have like various vocabularies that I use. I have like I like playing blues music. I like playing jazz music, and this is kind of the jazz vocabulary kind of song. So I had this phrase in my mind. This is an example where I had this phrase written, and I probably had it sitting around for weeks or months, and then I was like, okay, time to take the phrase and flesh it out. So I think you can guess what the phrase is here. Well, the letters of a word are significant. Some words have 4, others have 3. Well, I should understand how they're different. I was a regional champion of the spelling bee. When I spell love, I never use an O, just L-U-V. I never end with an E. Well, why in the word would I ever use 4 letters when I only ever need 3? Some people spell love with an O. Well, I'm a pretty good speller too, but I never spell love with an O. Oh no, I spell love with you. L-U-V looks right to me. L-U-V looks right to me. Even though you won't find it in the dictionary, it's a very nice thought that you would be inside of a word suggesting intimacy. When I spell love 3 letters wide, the L reminds me of my left arm. Well, the V is like my arm on the other side when they wrap all around you to keep you warm. Spelling love can be lovely with someone you know, if they appreciate spelling the way that we do. Oh, but I never spell love alone. Oh no, I spell love with you. Well, I never spell love alone. Oh no, I spell love with you. There you go. So you can guess what that phrase was. That was kind of stuck in my notebook before the song came to be.
That was amazing.
Oh,
Nicely done.
well.
Was the phrase "I spell love with you"?
I spell love with you, right? I had written that down. It stuck around for a while.
It's classic. We should do a Valentine's Day show.
Good idea.
Okay, sold.
So, time to take a break? Is that what you said? or did you want me to pass you the questions?
Oh no, we're
so
never
you can
gonna.
start?
Oh yeah.
I have the questions here, so
Do you want us to ask you a question?
Jen's supposed to, or I'm sure she's like wondering if I'm going to ask all these questions. Yeah.
All right, I'll ask you a question.
Okay.
Why are you so awesome?
Ask my mother. I don't know. I just fake it till I make it, right? I really, I'm not.
Are you a words or music person first?
That's a tough one. Well, okay, like this next one I was going to sing is called Rainy Day. I'm so glad that you sang something about clouds and rain because it fits. And it must be, the universe telling us. This particular song, I picked up a ukulele and started writing on it. And I don't know if anybody plays ukulele, but you can't write sad songs on a ukulele. You can try, but you can't. And so it was a rainy day, and I was like feeling kind of like, I don't know, dreary, like we might during rainy day season. And so I was trying to write like a happy song. And I was like, well, what makes a happy song? And one thing that popped in my mind immediately was a whistle solo. Because, I mean, that sounds happy. But then as I started to write the song, I was realizing it was a song about like saying goodbye to like parts of my life that were, I don't know, just big, intense parts of my life. And so writing the song like is almost like a release for me too, because I've gone through recent life changes in the last 5 years or so, and I'm coming to the end of that like shift. So I'm really excited about that, but it also is just like heavy and things like that, or thinking about maybe people that you know that you were really great friends with that you can't be friends with any longer, or like that are your friendships have changed because maybe they're suffering addiction or things like that that change your relationship and aren't the same anymore. You're kind of missing those good days of when you'd be together. And so I wrote this song called Rainy Day. Sorry, that was awkward, wasn't it? All of it. I'm awkwardly yours.
Marianne doesn't think it was awkward. She
Thanks
is
for your
very
patience.
socially good, but I mean, she would tell us if it was awkward.
Trust me.
But so I originally wrote this on the ukulele, but then it didn't fit my voice in the ukulele key, so I had to bring it down, and I brought it on guitar, and had this old debate about it, in my head. And then,
What do you mean debate? Whether to
like
change
whether
the
to bring
key?
it down, or like,
Uh.
yeah, because it was, like, it sounded good on the ukulele, but
Yeah.
like, I just couldn't sing it, so I needed to bring it lower, and the only way to do that was.
Well, you have such a distinctively low voice. I mean, yeah, you got to kind of find that place for it.
I did. I had to, and so we'll see if I can do it. And then I'm trying to do a whistle solo at the same time, and that's. So here it is. It's called Rainy Day. Rainy day. I still love you, but you're so cold, just not the same. Nor will it ever, ever be. It broke away. My illusion fell apart, and only then, well, hello again. Be still my beating heart. Sunny day. Sometimes I'm sick of the rainy ones. I can't say. I remember the last time you and I laughed and smiled face to face like a sunrise that lit up the whole place. They can't all be rainy days. They can't all be black and blue. I'll shine my light over this way to find the love that's pure and true. Sunday rain, I can hear it on the glass. Storms drifting through, but rainy days, they never last. The best of me still wishing well for you. I'll raise a glass into the past and love that we once knew. They can't all be rainy days. They can't all be black and blue. Shine your light o'er this way to find a love that's pure and true. All right, come on, show me here. There you go.
That was
Beautiful.
awesome.
Rainy day.
They can't all be rainy days. That's what I'm going to tell myself. They can't all be rainy days.
No, they can't.
How's that whistle solo go?
We should do a whistle quartet.
We should never do that.
Well, I know you moved
Say
it.
we
To,
didn't.
You moved it to the guitar, but you kept the feeling and rhythm of the ukulele. Yeah.
I was trying. You're right. Yeah.
Tink a tink, tink a tink.
Yeah.
You know.
It was kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the chords are beautiful. They're sweet and sour, I would say.
Right. Like
Yeah.
that, and then it's like literally it was about my ex-wife moving out of town and like just acknowledging like, okay, we had a marriage for 20 years and 3 beautiful children, but like I'm done, and like how weird that sounds in my head because like I'm a dedicated person, so it just kind of hits against my nature, I guess. And then the other one is just a friend who has become an alcoholic to the point where she can hardly function, and nobody that anybody knows in the room here, just so you know. But like it's just, and I love that person, and like they're not the same person. And it's like how bitter like and sour I am, just that I don't have that person. Like aside from wanting to help that person, hopefully get through their addiction, but it's just like wow, like and so. The happy rainy day songs, like I still love rainy days, even though they're rainy out. And most people are like, it's rainy, I don't want to go outside. And I'm like, I want to look out the window and have a tea and read a book and put a blanket on, or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, maybe that's silly, but I'll take any day I can get.
Yeah. And I would say similar to Jenny's song, like it does sound like rain. I don't know, there's something about the particular rhythm of it and the chords, like it has that kind of splashy sound, which of course is sort of my obsession, that the thing sounds like the subject matter, and I think it's great.
Thank you.
Well, that's a wonderful song. And it's full of, and that's sort of the thing that songs can only hint at, like the richness that you shared about what's behind it. You didn't share it at first so that we could all have our own relationship with the words and the way the music made us feel. But now that you've shared it, I feel like if I heard that song again, it would be even richer and deeper. And I say that because when you have people who are willing to listen to your songs and maybe listen to them more than once, the audience does something for the artist that I don't think we talk about enough, which is you help us understand what we're doing, and the attention you pay to us and to these songs actually ripens them. It's like sun on a grape or a strawberry at this time of year. So Joel was telling you about all those beautiful things. This is another song I wrote to a haiku. And the haiku goes like this. Hands on hearts. In the end, we're all just panes of glass that see the same things differently. My mother's middle name is Anne. My middle name is Anne. My mom spells Anne with no E. My dad spelled it with an E. Somewhere on a birth certificate, the truth is plain to see. But the facts of the matter matter less than the way we want things to be. How do people who love each other see the same thing so differently? My niece's middle name is Anne. Her mom's middle name is Anne. But I always tell everyone my niece was named after me. If you were to see the family, the truth would be hard to miss. But the facts of the matter don't matter at all when ignorance is bliss. How do people who love each other see the same thing so differently? I gave my daughter her own name. She does not share the McCarthy middle name. But she went and told the kids at school her and my middle names were the same. I said, honey, why'd you do it? I broke you free from the family chain. But the facts of the matter don't matter at all when the heart puts reason to shame. How do people who love each other see the same just never occurred to me that what I found so confining, my daughter would find comforting. But of course she did. She would have loved to be part of that lineage where everybody's middle name is Anne. Once I understood that, once I saw the error of my ways, I resolved to fix it. And my cunning plan was to fix it by going to the passport office. That's right. I had to get passports. And I figured one governmental office is going to talk to another, right? So if I change her name at the passport office, it'll be changed everywhere. That's what I thought anyway. I mean, what could go wrong? But the person right in front of me in line had her birth certificate and her driver's license, but the middle name on both documents did not align. But we stood there while they tried to see a path through infinite bureaucracy. Oh, because her mother hadn't changed her middle name officially. So I never did change her name. Her name still remains the middle name she received, which is Grace. She has forgiven me, and sometimes we marvel, laughing at how do people accidentally create a new problem where an old one used to be. Well, my dad would change the way you spelled it. My sister-in-law would give you hers. I'd try to give you your own name, but all of them are yours because it's not what they give you, it's what's written in your heart. And that's a fact whether the facts are true or they're fictional works of art. 'Cause other people will always see the same things so differently. Thank you very much.
I've always loved that song. I love the part where you're not singing and you're just talking. Like,
Yes.
when was it always like that, or did you decide to was there?
It was always like that because I couldn't figure out how to get enough verses
Oh, see,
to sing that part of the
I
story.
love that part because it's like I just got to explain something real quick here. Let me just
It's like breaking that third wall or whatever they say,
Yeah,
like,
something
in,
like that.
you know.
But did you have to count it out like as if it was musical?
What I had to
Anyway.
count out musically was the woman right in front of me in line had her birth certificate and her driver's license. You know,
Oh,
I needed
wow.
the rhymes to match up. Yeah, yeah.
I love I feel like I have two veins of songs in me. Some are like analytic, which are like that Love With You, which is like, okay, here's a puzzle. How do you put the jigsaw puzzle together? And you kind of work until it's done. And then other stories other songs are stories. They're actually about people, and they have names sometimes. And I always note when a song actually includes the person's name, the subject of the thing. And I think there's something sort of magical just about a name. It's not just a song isn't just a description of things, but it's actually about a kind of a person. And this is a song that where the person's name is a very musical name, and Jenny has made our musical household, very conscious of syllables with her haiku obsession. And this is a song with a name that will be familiar to that is very clearly is a waltz. Had to be a waltz, right? Seems like not quite right there.
I can't think of who
Right.
this person's going to be.
I'm not using my normal tuner today. That is acceptable. Jennifer Aniston is a friend of mine. She lives in Hollywood but stays at my place sometimes. She can relax when she stays with me. Well, after she's wrapped another romantic comedy on again, off again with Jennifer Aniston. She's only a phone call away. Well, maybe the next time she'll stay. With all of her money, she could live anywhere, but I can't leave Cleveland as long as my daughter's here and Jennifer stays for a while. She could live in New York, but not in Ohio. The first time she stayed, we cleared out a drawer for her. She took me shopping and bought me some furniture, a table and chairs with some style. Well, maybe in Downers Grove, but not in Ohio. Everybody, it's on again, off again with Jennifer Aniston. She's only a phone call away. Well, maybe the next time she'll stay. Up, I know where I will find her doing 100 sit-ups with a shake in the blender she bought with a thought toward my health. Well, someday I will learn to use it myself, and we are discreet. Well, she can't be seen with me. I'm not bad looking, but I ain't no celebrity, and I must respect her career. Well, last year she bought me a new air conditioner. It's on again, off again with Jennifer Aniston. She's only a phone call away. Well, maybe the next time she'll stay with me. Well, maybe the next time she'll say, I'll stay in Cleveland if you want me to. We'll build a big house on Lake Erie. Well, Beverly Hills will be just for vacation. We can begin to build a foundation. Your daughter might learn to like me. Well, come Monday morning, Jennifer's off. She makes a fruit smoothie, and I make some coffee. We sit at the table she bought for me. As soon as she's able, she'll be back this way. Everybody now, it's on again, off again with Jennifer Aniston. She's only a phone call away. Well, maybe the next time she will stay with me. Well, maybe the next time she'll say, I'll stay. So I wrote that song a good while ago, maybe 20 years ago, and I happily, it's the song that keeps on giving because Jennifer Aniston keeps having a career.
Right.
Right? And she's still fantastic. And
she's still your girlfriend.
and well,
Just a phone call away, let's say.
in that song, she is indeed, yeah. But I've always loved the idea that I might do that song for a generation of people who don't know or remember who Jennifer Aniston is, or fully like we do, people of our generation. And it might still be a good song, you know, because it's about this girl named Jennifer Aniston. But those of us who have that name and that person who is so important to us as a cultural figure, like it just becomes this whole other thing. So, so anyway, just kind of riffing on Jenny's using the name so prominently in our song. I think it's a real special thing when you can actually give the characters a name. You know, I heard just some interview with Tom Waits, and he said, we were asking him about songwriting, and he said, you know, I like to have some food in a song, and I like to have an address. Like the person has an actual place and something to eat, and I know the song's going pretty well. And to me, it's like I add, it gets this whole level of interest when the thing has a name, the person has a name in it. So anyway, that's my song.
There's like, yeah, just like that whistle thing, or like, you know, there's a harmonica, you know, when you're playing, there's like those little things that add to a song that way, aren't there? Like the song title or the
and
name.
different names have different feelings to them. And Jennifer was such a like. I'm sorry, I knew I wanted to do that song because our absent member here is Jennifer Ashley, and then Jennifer Bienemann, of course. So, but that was such a name of women born in the mid to high 60s, 1960s, and so anyway, it kind of means something. Just the name Jennifer kind of means something like, I don't know.
You should have seen us when we were at Montreal for the Folk Alliance, and we tried to order a chicken sandwich, and we didn't know how to speak French, and the person was trying to say Jennifer's name, and
Geneviève.
It's like, oh wow, didn't realize Jennifer was like not a name common to French people, and you'll be happy to know that my two teenage daughters, like one's 20 now and one's about to turn 18. Those are my youngest two. And they both had a Friends phase where they went through and watched Friends and Jennifer Aniston and all that. So the next generation, I think, is knowing who Jennifer Aniston is. So, which kind of makes me think of this song. I wrote a song called Devil's Dream, and there's a tune that people know, like, you know, let's see. Like, it's called Devil's Dream, but that's what inspired the title. And it was kind of I read an article recently where they were talking about young people and how they get their phones and devices before they're even able to speak now. And so the devices are actually like socializing our children. And that I kind of rebelled against that when I had kids, and I held out for as long as I could, not giving them cell phones or not giving them devices, but they kept kind of shaming me, like, come on, Dad, all my friends do, and like, I just didn't feel good about it, and I didn't want to, and this song kind of speaks to that. I told you so because I read an article recently where they were saying that being on the devices so much is like causing more instances of like disabilities and learning disabilities and anxieties and things like that for some of the young folks, and that like they're trying to encourage, just putting that stuff down and going out doing something, like in nature, or building something with your hands, or reading a book, like these kinds of things. And so that's where this song came out of. But it was also inspired by a woman who made this meme or this short video online where she asked AI to say, if you were the devil to AI, what would you do? And it like came back with this whole thing about like how it would take over people's minds, and it like freaked me out because it was just like, whoa, that was like weird because it was so specific, and it like really kind of freaked me out. So I wrote this song about that. But I gotta get this capo right. I can't get it. It also was inspired partly by Devil Went Down to Georgia, if you know that song. I was looking for something kind of like that where maybe some bluegrass cats will pick it up and make it a well-known song or something. But I met the devil the other day. The sun was at high noon. A debonair multimillionaire, social media tycoon. He says, I can sell your candy for your riches untold, with dopamine and lit up screens and all your children's souls. In the dungeon, securely addicted to their memes, zeros, ones, then I'm done. The code is my scheme. With an image clear but blurry, and a song to draw them in, old sleight of hand works again. Digital Pied Piping. He says with phantoms in the background, I'll unleash their maddening pain until they cannot think for themselves, and then I'll truly reign. Pretend not to see me as I raise the army of the lost. You'll be afraid, look the other way. Now you see the cost. In the dungeon, securely addicted to their memes, zeros, ones, then I'm done. The code is my scheme. It's the devil's dream. It's a devil's dream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. Sorry, yeah.
These guys are so involved with this great process that they don't understand. These guys need a little break.
Okay, well, I guess we're taking a break.
You got it.
And the bathrooms are down the hall to the left, and everything's $1. And with just a few minutes, because we don't have that many people to worry about the bathrooms. So
Right.
how long should we have the break be? 5-10 minutes?
Yeah, that sounds great. 5 or 10 minutes.
Let's give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
I'll be able to get my guitars in tune by then, I think.
Just in time for the end of
Hey,
the show.
is the audience going to be able to do any questions or no?
Oh.
Or are you guys scared about that?
I'm game. I didn't. Did you? Are you guys game for?
I'm
Oh,
not
yeah.
scared.
I'm
I'm nothing.
or briefs.
Depends.
When you get older.
I did not make that up, Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks made that up.
Depends. Nice.
No, they got those good grandma's cookies. You got those things?
Oh, I know we do. Yeah. Would you like some? Do you have a favorite flavor?
I think the chocolate chip.
Yeah, but we only are.
You have another guitar stand? You have another one? Yeah.
You asked how come he became so awesome.
Yeah.
And I was thinking that it began in a car waiting by a railroad crossing as the freight train was going by with the engine turned off and the radio.
That's how it started. Yeah, that's how it always starts.
How you doing? What's your name again?
I'm looking, is that a Santa Cruz or what?
No, a friend of mine built it. You ever seen the Sons of the Never Wrong? That band?
Yeah, that's okay.
The guy in the band.
Oh, that's
is
interesting.
The guy in the band, Bruce, is a deer, so he built it.
No,
Great. You a guitar player?
I've got guitars and I don't practice, so I'm a very lousy player.
It's more important to have them than to play them.
I don't think so. The other one was Jennifer. It's like Jennifer started with Jennifer Aniston. Jennifer really started with the movie Love Story.
Oh, I think that's right.
That was the most popular movie for several years, and all the females that were born around that time, not all, but many of the females that were born around that time drank gin.
Oh, because of the movie?
Yeah, really. And then Jennifer died in a movie of cancer.
She sure did. Love means never having to say you're sorry. Which
Yep.
is like, come on.
Always a
You
good
still
thing.
gotta say you're sorry.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen Joel
Oh,
sing
boy.
himself.
I really like that devil song. It's a,
He hit a couple notes, and I
Yeah.
thought the devil's always in a minor key.
Good.
so now when I ask the question, how do you, with these quirky songs, know it's in the most respectful way? There's no
Hi,
one
nice to see you.
Yes,
like you.
Tom. Yes, that's easy. Oh, thanks.
Oh,
There's,
No.
no, it's, I think he's set apart.
When they
It's
ask
so, just,
what is one of your mentors or whatever it is, he said what it was Tom Waits.
well, I don't know Tom Waits, so I know Robin.
So that
And
when
there's nobody
when I
right
heard his
now.
songs, I was thinking that could be Tom Waits.
Yeah, but I mean, really, I come here almost every week unless I'm out of town, and you're set apart in a good way. And it's so fun to see you at Friendly's throwing out in the open mic some of your new stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't go to that open mic that much because it's kind of a long way from me.
It's a great team, though.
Friendly's is awesome. It's just a nice place.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I
good.
remember online, I was going through some medical stuff.
It's all gone better, all better. So we saw Susan Werner the other night.
You did?
She said,
So what's your
"Well, I
week
wrote
looking
this
like?"
song with Robin Bennett."
Oh,
And I was
nice.
like, what?
Yeah.
Medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
Oh, it's great.
recycling, or do you want to come for something else?
Well, she definitely, she credited you.
And then with this one, yeah, I'll take it, and I'll even
So
slide
I-
it.
She said, actually said Robin Bienemann, and half the crowd went, Bienemann. It was at,
I mean, I'm flying on Wednesday to see him,
That broadcast on-
so.
yeah, the one that was
Because my
broadcast
daughter
on the
is
radio, I can't think of the name
they're
of the
getting
place.
married May 30th, so.
Dale.
Yeah.
Ooh, enjoy, congratulations.
I know, it'll be
Yes,
so
yes,
good.
she
They're
talks
so
about that,
excited.
that's the stop where you decide whether you can make it through or you have to stop and pee, and she's driving home. What's the name of the place?
Which I think is a good
Where I
thing.
saw
I
Susan Werner?
Really wish my generation.
Acoustic Run.
You've played there.
Acoustic Run?
Acoustic Renaissance, yes.
Oh, sure. Oh, that was,
No,
I
Libby,
thought that
She
was,
credited Robin with it, you know, she mentioned she'd written that song with Robin.
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah.
But I'm glad she's playing it.
Yeah?
I'm older than
She's so
you.
funny, because she was,
Hey, Joe,
so
I like that song about the
the whole curve up.
Valentine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
She was a judge
You're 54?
No.
when I won.
That is
Oh,
good.
that curve, I didn't hear the whole,
I've
Yeah.
done.
Susan
This
was a judge,
couple-
her ago when you won.
yeah, like 2 years ago.
Yeah. So she just took a life
Okay, it was not
Here's her,
12.
here's her version of collaborated.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I don't know where you
she was,
Medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
actually got a suicide
Um,
call.
Oh,
I
jeez.
like October birthdays.
Somebody come to your house, you don't wanna look at it.
Wow.
It is.
That was it.
The only thing that's bad
was it a
about
suicide?
it then
Yeah.
is the fall.
And her voice
That's
memo,
another reason why
maybe
I
about
didn't
about
perform,
three
because a lot of these
pages.
social
Send it
services
to me.
did
Oh,
not,
there,
did
right.
not have good.
Wow.
It's a really good song.
Yeah, oh, I can't wait to hear it.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah, it is right back to
More,
that.
Did you end up having Halloween themed birthday parties or did you not?
Bernie Taupin, you were Bernie Taupin in the 6 o'clock a day.
Pick up trucks stuck in the snow.
Never
Never
I saw Susan Werner recently, and she said, well, I co-wrote this song with Robin Bienemann, half the crowd.
Hey,
Acoustic Renaissance.
Oh, my God.
Joel, I really enjoyed it. First time I've heard you play
Did
this.
you guys go kind of tired?
I've heard you.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
And it had a really
Do a
nice
little gigging,
beat to it on the guitar, really nice.
kind of, some kind of sunglass thing over
I don't know,
just for
it's
fun.
just.
Aw.
And, you know,
Oh, you're gonna be so good at that. Oh my God.
Everybody says that, yeah, when you mention life coach, it's like, oh, there's a person who should be a life coach. Of course, it hasn't worked on me. She hasn't improved me in
Hold on, that's
any way. In any way.
That is so
Don't practice on me, don't practice on me.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Don't practice. When she started it, it was like, I'm behind you 100%, honey, but just don't practice on me.
I'm not
She's
your-
been practicing 29 years.
You're practicum.
Right, right,
Can't be your practicum.
right.
29 years.
He's
Well,
untouchable as it turns out, but
26 years married and 29 years.
together.
But we've known each other for that
More
long.
than that, more than that, yeah.
30 or.
First time that met you at the Abbey Pub.
That's right, 1994.
You can do it later.
You were giving out 94.
For sure.
Wow.
September 94.
Yeah, you were giving, well, it must be your birthday in September,
Oh,
right?
yeah, I get it, I get it.
Yes.
She gave out cupcakes for her birthday. I thought, that is a special person. Let me see if I can get a selfie.
Yes, let's do
They're
that.
better than light somewhere.
As if. As if.
Right,
The light
right.
comes
there's
off
some-
of Mary Ann and everything.
There you
Let's all
go.
get the lights on.
But,
Okay, ready?
all right.
You guys
Oh,
get
we
in
gotta
there.
get the famous
I mean, I could go.
stained glass window. All right, all right, we're jumping around?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Oh, that would
Do it again.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Let's see what you got. I hope you got it.
And
Do you
you
wanna say-
are, you're gonna deal, you're in charge of that.
Okay. Oh, sure.
We're gonna do it in a duo, so.
But
It's your
you'll
call.
figure it out.
Yeah,
Where
we're
are you gonna do it?
at Pianoforte.
Oh,
Forte.
where's that?
They're blurry.
Michigan Avenue, just south of.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's,
what day is
June 14th, Sunday,
It's a
5
Sunday,
o'clock.
5 o'clock, so you can be home, no,
That's Father's Day?
no, please tell me it's not Father's Day.
I think I might be Father's Day.
Uh-oh.
But
Let's
that's a great
find
thing
out.
that people should take their fathers to.
Yeah, I guess. We
All right.
probably have missed that.
Robin let me have a little bit of his cookie.
Did you Flag Day.
Flag Day.
Oh,
No, that's great.
Flag Day, Father's Day, same thing to me.
It's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Here's your flag, Flag Day.
Like,
Yeah,
Joel, we're so happy you had us here. This is just, we've been looking forward to it.
thank you.
And also,
Hey, why was the, highway closed down, you guys?
We
Was
don't
there a
know.
bad-
We
Oh,
didn't-
there were
we didn't
2
see it.
accidents.
Okay.
One around Sacramento and then one
No, that was the wrong way. Sacramento,
little
they would
farther
be
or something.
Darrow Park.
There've been a lot of
There- it was-
accidents outbound on the Ike
yeah,
in the
well,
last
people
couple of weeks.
fly on the Ike. It is the Wild West.
Sometimes it's better just go down Roosevelt Road
Yeah.
from Oak Park to here. I do that on a
That's what
regular
happened
basis.
just a week ago when we went somewhere.
Or like when I go down to Chicago, I go, if it's during the rush hour, I go on Roosevelt
I can
until
get behind
Harlem.
that.
Me too.
Smart.
You say Roosevelt or Roosevelt?
Roosevelt.
Roosevelt.
I say Roosevelt. If you say Roosevelt, raise your hand.
Roosevelt.
I'd say
Who
Roosevelt.
says
That's how
Roosevelt?
Roosevelt called it.
Roosevelt?
Who says Roosevelt?
I say Route 38.
Yeah, there you go.
Route 38.
We have, where we live in Oak Park in Berwyn, there's a, I don't know if it's an official term, but they call it the Beltway. And they've been calling it the Beltway. I've been hearing that term forever and ever, and I don't know, I think it must have been 10 years in or something. I realized they're talking about Roosevelt,
Really?
the Beltway. That's why they call it that. And it's because there's, the music places are there, Fitzgerald's and Friendlies, and there used to be Wired there, so they called it. But so it's a bit of a, it's an avenue of fun things there. They call the Beltway.
An avenue of fun.
That's Chicago in general.
Should we do, are we gonna do questions now?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Yeah,
And I
great.
didn't have any back support.
Is somebody, is that me doing the buzzy buzz?
I hear a hum, but I don't know what it is.
A new hum. Oh, that's what the hum is. Okay. I was like, there's a new hum.
Probably was that.
Be still,
Hi.
my heart. That's what my heart does when I look at Robin, even after all these years. You just heard it that time. Yeah.
Aw.
So, all right, yeah, we were asked the question if we might take questions
That counts as
From
one
the-
question.
Oh, right. Well, if we might take questions from the audience. So does anyone have any questions?
I had so many questions throughout your entire performance for each song that you did. I wish I had a little piece of paper that I could have written you the question and just given it to you to address whenever you want to.
That's nice for the future. We can have
just-
tens of.
Should we just run through every song real quick? That was Jenny did Falling.
Yeah?
I played Love With You, and then I played Jennifer Aniston. You played Valentine's Song.
Yeah.
You played the one about My Name Is Anne.
Lay it all down.
Lay It All
Lay It
Down.
All
So that's
Down.
almost all the songs. Does that ring any bells? Questions?
Nice.
It's so funny. Well, you know what? On the flyers and on my ticket, I have notes. You know, I was just really just enjoying your lyrics, your songs, your as you spoke the parts within your song and broke into that, and the haikus, and I mean, just everything in today's performance was just lovely and amazing.
Oh.
And,
Aw.
I want to be able to follow each of you and to see other performances, other places. As I mentioned, I love writing haikus, and I do have one that I will share with you if you'd like. It's about a coffee shop.
Let's do it.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So I was impressed with this barista at a coffee shop out south called Ghost Coffee. It's a fabulous artistic place. It's in New Lenox. And so this is like a dedication to the barista, because anytime I went into this shop, they gave me a cup of coffee that was in a to-go cup, and he made it in a beautiful ceramic mug, and it had hearts floating on it. And I was like, this is the coffee experience I wanted here, but never knew it existed. So I called this the barista code. Let me see. Steaming cup of joe, frothing hearts freely floating, espresso soiree.
Nice. Bravo.
Bravo.
And what I had done was I went to a libraries program, and they took AI, and so I wanted AI to create a photograph of coffee being poured into a cup as a waterfall with mountains in the background into an ocean, and it did this. And had I known that this was going to be what it is, I would have just brought it to show you.
Oh, another time.
Brilliant.
When I walk, I feel like I speak in haiku. And so, nature speaks, trees speak, everything is just has a story, and it comes out in that 575 format.
Nice.
So beautiful. Well, I have a
Nicely
Sunday email, and in my I send it out every single Sunday, and in that email there's a place for if anybody writes haiku, send me the haiku, and I might put it in there. It's called the Haiku Your Milieu section.
I just went into your website yesterday. I hope that it said I was going to get something, so I haven't checked my email for Sunday yet.
Yeah.
But I'm on board to
Wonderful.
share, because I felt like we're kindred spirits.
Oh, how beautiful.
I-
Thank you.
I have that a feeling about a new pub that opened up by our studio. It's just 1 block away. It's on Curtis, but it's on the other side of town. And I've been there, I think, 4 times now, and I've never paid once. And it's like a magical place. I don't know what's happening, but it's beautiful. And usually I go during the session, and they're trying to encourage the musicians to come and play Irish tunes on Thursday nights. And but I still have never paid once, and I don't understand that. Mihal is one of the owners and my new friend. So it's a really beautiful place, and I feel like I should write a haiku about it, because
I think you should. I agree.
Bloom and Ferris. I mean, that's just like perfect name to write a haiku about. But thanks for joining us, and I want to say before I forget, thank you to Tim and Christine for volunteering and helping us operate the show today. And I'm not the MC that Jennifer is, but I never claimed I would be or tried. I'm just trying to get through it. Like.
You're the MC you are, Joel.
See, I think that like me singing and playing music makes it more approachable for everybody, because they're like, if that guy can do it, I can do it. So it's just everybody has a capacity for it. When I was a kid, my mom encouraged creativity, and there was this thing that she had me do. She said, there's this contest on the back of the ice cream box. It was called Eskimo Pies, is what the boxes were. And they're like, write an essay and, try to win a bicycle. And so I wrote this grand essay about how they were made by angels up in the clouds, and I won. And so I got a picture of me when I was like 9 or 10 on my new Schwinn Scrambler that I got because of it. And it was just like one of the coolest things. But I always remember that my mom would always encourage me to be creative or to, experience that. And then like for me, one of the moments that I think was a breakthrough that I'm like, ooh, I know I'm getting somewhere. I wrote this song called This Stranger Was You, or That Stranger Was You. And it was a song like, what if that stranger was you? And it was after seeing a homeless person holding a sign in my hometown. And then another family that I saw where one of the kids at the store I was working at the time was stealing a pack of gum. And like, I realized like he just didn't have any money and he just wanted a little something for himself. And I knew it wasn't right, but it just struck me. And so I wrote that song, and I wrote that song called That Stranger Was You, and I played it for my mom, and she cried. And I was like, oh, that's victory. Like victory in like not making your mom cry, but like that she felt it that way. And I had another experience too recently where somehow I got the offer to help Joe Jenks finish a bottle of whiskey in his room at the Folk Alliance. And Randy Psyche joined us, and Jennifer was there, and Heather Psyche was there. And I played this song I wrote recently, and I wasn't paying attention. I was just playing my song, and it was about my dad. And I think my dad might have suffered PTSD after Vietnam. And a lot of what I come to understand about that period of time was that the people that went didn't really feel comfortable talking about it, and like dealing with PTSD and those kinds of things wasn't really like something you did, I guess, or whatever, and they kind of just like put it in the back and said, forget about it. And I realized like, wow, that was a thing. And so I played that song in front of Joe and Randy and Jen and Heather, and I wasn't paying attention at all. And yeah, the whiskey might have done it, but I looked up and they were both crying, and I'm like, I made them both cry with my song. Like I was like, these are like, two of my favorite people in the world, and I was like, wow, that it was like, it worked. Like the feeling, but it was probably the whiskey. But
It's witchcraft,
yeah.
songcraft.
So sorry for the random stuff there, but
Oh no, that's everything, man. And we were talking about going to there's an open mic at our local place, Friendlies, and like to me, a song's not done until you do it in front of people. Like it doesn't really exist if I'm just writing it in my living room. So I have to go usually to this open mic and play it kind of for the first time or the second time, because that's when you know that you make, that you're making those connections. In my case, like trying to make somebody laugh at a certain line, but affecting them emotionally. Like you just don't know until you actually do it.
Yep.
It can happen in your mind.
it's great in my head, right?
Yeah,
like,
right. So
So is there a newer song that one of you, or is that like?
I have a new song that I'm getting ready. Do you guys want to hear it? It's to a long haiku that I don't remember. But the gist of that haiku starts, it's a picture of a stop sign that I took in Fish Creek, Wisconsin. And it's a multi-stanza haiku, which is called a haiku chain. And the first stanza goes something like this. Some try to stop you because it's easier than to go themselves. So, and then I wrote a whole song about it, which I'll try on my fancy new guitar. Some people try to stop you 'cause it's easier than to go themselves. Some people are reeling from the hand they're dealt. Some got pigeonholed and stuck on a shelf. Some people hold you back 'cause they've no one else to hold on to. Some people throw an elbow when they're learning boundaries. Some people trip you up 'cause they have 2 left feet. Some paid through the nose for what we should get for free. And then some people just aren't nice. Some people give you grace because they wish it was given them. Some people forgive as they wish they had been. Some learn to let go by losing a beloved friend. Some people give you grace because no one is past redemption. Some people, some people think they know what's right for you, want to tell you what to do, won't do it themselves but want you to. Some people like me, maybe like you, like all of us do sometimes.
Yeah, love that.
Very kind, very kind. Me and that song, thank you for overlooking that low note.
Let's see. This is not a brand new song, but it's a new wish from the last few years, but hasn't quite made it into the regular repertoire. But it's one of the songs that won me a big songwriting contest. So, it's, and it contains the concepts that I discussed earlier. I try to make the instrument sound a bit like the subject of the song, and see how far I can get in before you know what that subject is. When the axe came down, it missed by just 1 inch. Now when I'm no longer around, I guess you'll still be living there behind my fence. And as a bird, you failed every test I put you through. You can't sing, you can't fly, but as an ostrich farmer, I'm a failure too. 'Cause when the axe came down, it hit the chopping block real hard. Now you with your long neck spend the next 50 years living in my yard. Ostrich steaks, you should try. Ostrich eggs, you can fry 'em up with ostrich sausages. Well, an ostrich makes a terrible pet, but this one's time has not come yet. And if it does, I'll bet it's from natural causes. I lie, my axe hangs in the shed. Well, it's time for me to die. Well, soon I will be in heaven instead of alive. Fetch my pen and my papers to divide my property. I got this house on 13 acres, but I got no human family. 'Cause when the axe came down, well, it missed your wrinkly neck. And now as sure as my mind is sound, you will inherit this farm upon my death. And as a bird, you cried every pass. Now as a bird, you failed every test that we put you through. You're not cute, you're not smart, and as an ostrich farmer, I'm a failure too. There we go. Trying to get the feeling of an ostrich from the guitar there with
The long, like,
Low-
distance
lowness.
in the notes and the.
I don't know
Yeah.
what it. You know, the funny thing is ostriches actually don't make a sound. They don't chirp.
They do
They don't sing. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Robin,
Yeah.
you tend not to resolve your songs, most of them at the end, I mean, a lot of them. And I'm just kind of curious
Yeah,
about that.
that's a great question. I'm not sure.
It's kind of like, then, it's a little bit more.
Oh, like musically.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like, is that emoting something? Like,
Is this a conscious effort or?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I just, yeah, you know, I like
And
this.
unconscious.
Uh,
Leaving people on the edge.
Yeah, yeah. I like, you know, yeah, a little dissonance. Like there's something to look forward to later on, I guess. Maybe, yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. I enjoy it.
but so where did you get that concept? Did you go to an ostrich farm or something?
Well,
or-
that was part of, if you know Rebecca Hasso, one of the really great songwriters in Chicago. She every year we do a show where songwriters write songs about environmental things, and it's a different subject every year. But this year it was about birds. You wrote a bird song too, right? Yeah. So Jenny was part of that, and I just so anyway, so yeah, it evolved into that, and I think the idea came. I was struck by how long ostriches live, and you know, it can be over 50 years, which means there are ostriches alive who remember Nixon as president, which is, your pet ostrich could outlive you, certainly, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah,
So so that just kind of got my mind spinning. Yeah.
And I like how you said, you know, you could fry up your ostrich eggs with your ostrich sausage.
It's
perfect.
It's funny
Yeah.
you say that because that got me into trouble. So we play that song and at night. It's a night in November, so all the songwriters play their songs, and we played our bird songs. And we have a kind of a sponsor who is an environmental sponsor, and this is a very vegan oriented organization. And they were walking out not because of my song, but they just happened to be walking out during my song. And for some reason, that's the only part of it they heard. And they came after Rebecca and said, you really shouldn't be doing songs on, murdering animals. but if you listen to the song, they don't kill the animal.
Right.
So it's so it was pretty funny that it actually got me into a little bit of trouble, being so graphic. But I mean, it's food, man. It's fine in your grocery store.
On Friday we had Sky Smead, and I don't know if you know, but he has a story about inheriting a canned squirrel meat factory in Arkansas from his relatives, and so he's got a whole song about chicken of the trees and like.
Making me hungry, man.
Yeah, like I don't know how. That was a wonderful song. It really was good.
Thanks.
Thank you. And thank you for you guys for coming to play. I feel like I should turn to you both and to do one last song each because we're
haven't
running
heard
out of
your
time.
song, Joel.
But what? I just did one before break. I'm out of songs. I really didn't think I was going to get more than 3, so I guess I'll have to go into the archives. All right, I'm going to play one then. Here's a song called "I Found My Way," and I grew up right around here in Chicago, but or like in Darien and Downers Grove area, and I've always had friends, from every type of culture or whatever. But for some reason, I get struck by the Latin beats and like always feel like I write in them, and I'm not sure why. It's I guess it's kind of like a bolero that this one is, but they just capture me, and then I want to write songs that fit those. But here, this one's called "I Found My Way." I wonder where you are and where we are going to. I wonder about you, and I see truth within. That is where it begins. That is what I need to do. And so I found, when I look inside, all the answers to my questions. No longer hide, no more reasons to justify, no excuses, no more lies, and I have found my way. And I need all of you, 'cause I can't make it through by myself. And dreams are reality of humanity from within yourself. And so I found, when I look inside, all the answers to my questions. No longer hide, no more reasons to justify, no excuses, no more lies, and I have found my way.
I love that you have so I was talking about like vocabulary of like instrumental vocabulary, and you did this kind of shit kicking bluegrass tune, and then this like beautiful Latin thing, and I know you play a lot of Irish music with your band, and I think it's just so cool that you've got these various vocabularies and you take them and you plug in your song ideas to them. It's just delightful. That's a cool song.
Thank you. I remember the first time I met you, I was like, did you study jazz or whatever? And you're like, no, I just like learned it myself or whatever. And I was struck by that because like for me, I had to learn open voice jazz chords and like kind of study for a while. And like you seem to just like, oh, I want to get that sound. So you figure out how to do it. And
yeah, in my case, I'm a complete faker in every genre. I can barely fake almost anything, but so kind of.
Hey, I'm impressed.
Like I couldn't sit in with a jazz band and say, "Hey, B flat, man."
Yeah, right.
You know? But I can do my thing. That's what I do.
I often say, in tune, in time, on the mic, you're good.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those are my pearls of wisdom.
So can you both do one more song for us to close it out? Because we're hitting that 5 o'clock here.
What if we did an a cappella song that everybody could sing? Does that sound
Okay,
good?
sure.
But then you go first and then I'll go last.
Do you have one more in there, Robin?
I can think of one.
So is that like a drop C tuning that you're doing?
Yes.
Okay.
So for the guitar players, my guitar is tuned very normally. That's a C chord, but then the low string is an extra C. So that's what I do. Any requests? Anything you guys want to hear? All right. All right. This is kind of a scientific neurological sing along. Sing it with me now. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Well, men tend to measure their bodies and compare, but there's only one part that a woman even cares about. It's not what you think, though. It's up where you think, and it shows that you're prepared to help out and share. Where the larger the amygdala contained in your brain, the likelier it is that you will help a stranger. Where the length of it combined with the circumference makes a difference. It's an indication of your generous behavior. I don't think about the size of my equipment or my bank account, which is non-existent. No need to be rich like Rockefeller, big fella. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Chicks dig a big amygdala. If yours is small, well, chances are you got a triple large ego with an id like a stick figure. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Sing it with me now. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Well, a girl who understands both science and romance knows that she can know about a man in advance. Could be magnanimous or a psychopath, and if his amygdala is big enough, she'll give him a chance. I had always understood that the measure of my body parts does not contribute to the pleasure of my partner, but now the amygdala is a figure in the formula. It's better if it's fatter, so surprise. Size matters. Now check for the memo in case you missed it. See, a chick wants to know that you are altruistic, and there's a perfect metric to signal her. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Chicks dig a big amygdala. Chicks dig a big amygdala. If yours is small, well, chances are you're an appalling thug like Hitler or Caligula. Chicks dig a big amygdala. 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 There you go. Thank you. All right, Jenny, bless us with a song that has no guitar playing on it whatsoever.
Pretty little cupola sitting on a house, pretty little head on your shoulders. Look up at the stars, see them twinkle round. In the morning they will follow you. Cupola, 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 low. Cupola, 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 low. I've got a cupola, it's got a deck. We could open all the sliding glass doors, sleep out on the walkway underneath the stars. And in the morning I would be with you. Cupola, 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 low. Cupola, 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 low. People up in cupolas stay up late, having tea parties with comets and asteroids. We were almost hit once, but never mind. Outer space creatures are notoriously kind. Cupola, 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 low. Cupola, 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 low. Come with me up to my cupola. We'll tell stories, we'll stay till we're old. You will see up in my cupola how to plant dreams and watch them unfold. Cupola, 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 low. Cupola, 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 low. Cupolas are best if you've had a lot of rest, and I can see by all those stars in your eyes. You could do some shut-eye, and that's just fine. Tomorrow I will take you up in my cupola, 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 low. Cupola, 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 low.
Jenny Bienemann right there.
Yes.
Everybody here tonight, thank you.
Thank you.
That was
Thank you,
so
Jenny.
fun.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank
Hey,
you.
I wanted to take one moment to mention that I will actually be here on the regular Friday night,
Oh, yes.
Two-Way Street on June 26th, I want to say, maybe?
That sounds right.
Around there, yeah, so
Yes.
celebrating, and Jenny might be here, but sadly might not be with me, so it might just be me. And but kind of celebrating this new CD I have, this new album that is an entirely live album that was recorded some years ago, but it's just coming out now. So a lot of new songs, a lot of old songs that I hadn't done in a long time. So I'll be doing just about that entire album, and then a bunch of other stuff too. So, but yeah, come by Friday night, 26th.
And then, Jenny, didn't you release a book recently? Like, wasn't it?
I did. I
Yes.
did in January. Yes, I have a little tiny book called The Comeback. You can find that and more. Well, when I come down, I'll have my phone with me, and if you're not already on the my mailing list, which I share with Robin, we'll get you signed up, and you'll get that Sunday email, and you'll hear about all this and more.
And thank you so much for supporting the Two-Way Street Coffee House.
Yes, thank you.
It's been delightful. Thank you, guys.
Thanks again to Tim and to Christine for helping us volunteer. And
Thank you, guys.
I know, but well, that's the one thing I did remember. And thank you all for coming today. Please come again.
Thank you, Joel, and thanks to Jennifer.
She's
You guys are
graduating a child. Yes.
indeed.
That's good for her.
Naperville Central.
Last one, right?
Oh, is
A
that your
good
school?
one. Yeah, that's my school.
Oh,
I
Jenny's
graduated
alma
from
mater,
there.
yeah.
The middle one, she's got